Hello everyone, today I finally have the next update of my 1 to 400 scale Chicago O'Hare Model Airport series. This one being in accordance with the previous update which showcased Terminal 5, this update will be showcasing the next area of coverage in this series' cycle, Terminal 1. For those of you who may not know, Terminal 1 is the main terminal for United, aside from the satellite concourse. For a while now, I've found that the Gemini Jet's airside-landside terminal closely resembles the real thing, and so I've opted to use that. In addition, I will finally be showcasing a dedicated cargo terminal layout that I've never presented before, which includes a maintenance area for United Airlines. Otherwise, this update is much busier than usual. We have lots of international flights and new models to cover. So with that, let's get into it. First up, at the south end of Terminal 1, we have this tiny United Express CRJ-200. This aircraft is being operated on behalf of Air Wisconsin and showcases the regional carrier's famous retro livery. This CRJ-200 just unloaded the baggage from its flight from Peoria and is beginning turnaround procedures. After that, it's going to be heading out to Johnstown. Directly to the left of that is this beautiful United Evo Blue livery Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner. As of right now, the ground crew is preparing to load cargo aboard and clean the aircraft for its upcoming departure to Munich, Germany. Following that, this United 737-700 is being pushed back from its ramp for its departure out to Chicago. Yeah, you heard that right. This average-sized commercial airliner will be making a barely 80-mile flight to Rockford, Illinois, just on the outskirts of the greater Chicagoland area. This is an extremely unique flight. In fact, it's unlike United to make such a far-fetched route. Despite this, the carrier has a whopping 3 flights to O'Hare from Rockford. I personally found this route quite interesting given the proximity of the two cities.
You did this for what?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why though?
Next up is another Boeing 737, this one being the MAX 9. As of right now, this aircraft is unloading its baggage as it just arrived from San Francisco. Subsequently, we have yet another of the 737 MAX series, this one being the Dash 8. Currently, it is being catered for its upcoming service to Seattle, Washington. Next up, this United Airlines Airbus A321-271neo is loading large amounts of cargo as it will soon be departing for Phoenix, Arizona. If I recall correctly, this was actually the inaugural flight of United's prized new Neos. And finally for the terminal, we have this brand new Lufthansa Boeing 747-8 in the new livery. I am so glad I was finally able to pick one of these up since I was waiting for NG to release one. I also got NG's Yankee Tango model, which showcases Lufthansa's famous retro livery. Now that I have all 3 liveries of Lufthansa 747-8s, my collection of the Lufthansa 747-8 fleet is complete. I have an unexplainable obsession with Lufthansa since I've been flying transatlantic with them for a large portion of my life. But of course, this aircraft is currently being treated to some fuel, cargo, and is being catered for its service back to Frankfurt, Germany. And now, switching over to the taxiways just west of Terminal 1, this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 is taxiing to runway 10 left for its departure to Dallas. I'm really happy I finally got an SWA 737-700, especially since I've flown it multiple times to and from Chicago O'Hare. Continuing with this heavy traffic, we have this United Airlines Boeing 757-300 in the Evo Blue livery. This aircraft is, of course, sadly doomed to be replaced by the modern and more efficient A321neo, and of course it will be dearly missed. Currently, this unit of a narrowbody is taxiing to runway 10 right for its departure to Newark, New Jersey. Next up is one of my favorite models in my collection, which is this ITA Airways A330-900neo. This spectacular design always manages to capture my attention, especially with such a bold livery. This aircraft is also en route to runway 10 right for its own departure to Rome, Italy. Next up is this American Airlines Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner with service to Athens. This seasonal service has actually stopped, but interestingly enough, it seems that American's 787-8 presence at Chicago has also come to a halt. According to the latest statistics, these aircraft are currently being heavily operated out of Philadelphia. With that being said, this might be the last time we see the 787-8 in a Chicago update for a bit. Just after that is the massive Etihad Airways Airbus A350-1000. This aircraft is currently turning onto an alternate route to runway 10 left for its departure to Abu Dhabi. Etihad is very consistent with the aircraft they send on this daily service to the UAE, which is nice. I remember seeing this one while Planespotting at Terminal 3 last year, and its sheer size is always breathtaking. Moving up, we have some arrivals from runways 9 left and right. Firstly, this Alaska Airlines E175 is currently waiting for the massive line of outbound traffic to pass so that it may continue its taxi to Terminal 3. Operating on behalf of Envoy Air, this aircraft arrived a little while ago from Seattle. Just behind that is the classic Air Canada CRJ-900. This sleek aircraft just veered off 09 right after touching down from its usual, Toronto, Canada. These passengers are for sure getting anxious waiting for all the massive aircraft ahead to move. Of course, once that eventually happens, this regional jet will be making its way to Terminal 2. And next, we have the brand new area of this series, the cargo terminal. I've showcased certain versions of O'Hare's massive cargo terminal, but never at this size. I'll also be showcasing a dedicated United Airlines maintenance ramp. With that, I'm going to start us off here at the United maintenance ramp, complete with its own narrow-body hangar. I actually got that custom 3D printed hangar at AvWorld Canada, just outside of Toronto Pearson Airport. I guess you could compare it to the airplane shop, which would be the United States counterpart. I also got 2 new models when I was there, one of which is the NG models Southwest Airlines 737-700 I showcased earlier in the video. Outside of the hangar, we can see some United wide-bodies going through some checks and whatnot. This United 777-200LR in the Star Alliance livery is undergoing some heavy maintenance as a part of its Bravo check after some 5 months of non-stop operation. I'm using the Gemini Jet's catering truck as a lift for the mechanics to access the wing, and I just thought that was a nice touch. As the other wide body in the United Airlines maintenance ramp, we have this United Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner undergoing its very first Delta check after a little over 6 years of service. It's crazy how important the 787 was to modern aviation's upbringing in terms of technological advancements and aerodynamic achievements. What's also crazy is that some of these revolutionary and considerably newer aircraft are already reaching 10 years of age. And inside the hangar, we can see 2 of United's narrowbodies. On the left, we have the Boeing 737-9 MAX in the Continental Merger livery, which has just repaired its brakes after a rejected takeoff some knots before hitting decision speed. Right now, it's fueling up and getting ready to taxi to Terminal 1 and resume commercial service. On the right side of the hangar, we have one of United's brand new Airbus A321neo aircraft, which is currently undergoing an initial inspection after having its cabin fitted for commercial service, as the aircraft was delivered only 4 days ago. As for the hangar itself, I'm using LEGO LED lights to illuminate the inside of it, which I think turned out looking very nice. Moving on to the cargo ramp, we firstly have this ANA Cargo Boeing 777-200 freighter in the Blue Jay livery. This is my very first interactive model and was made by JC Wings. Currently, the aircraft is loading up some bulk and parcel cargo as well as boarding its pilots for its upcoming service to Tokyo Haneda Airport in Japan. Right next to that is this United Boeing 777-300ER, which is about to load up some cargo that arrived from another flight. There used to always be a United 767-300ER at a remote area of the cargo ramp that was visible from the street every time you enter through the public access road. While this obviously isn't a 767-300, this 777 will be taking that aircraft's place until the NG 767 I pre-ordered arrives. Anyways, this United 777-300ER will be taxiing over to the satellite concourse for transatlantic service to London once it has its cargo loaded up. Following that is this massive UPS Boeing 747-8 freighter, which right now is being pushed back for its service to Anchorage in Alaska. Just behind that is this Western Global Airlines Boeing 747-400 Bicombi freighter, which is undergoing some routine checks on its number 1 engine and also preparing for its upcoming return flight to Anchorage, similar to the UPS 747. Moving on, we have this FedEx Boeing 767-300 freighter. As of right now, the aircraft is still unloading some parcel-type cargo, but has finished unloading its main deck's bulk cargo. And as the final aircraft for this busy Chicago O'Hare update, we have this UPS McDonnell Douglas MD-11F, which, contrary to the previous 767, has just finished loading its bulk cargo and fuel. A wide-body tug has just been attached and the aircraft will begin its pre-taxi and pushback procedures once all ground service equipment have cleared the ramp. Other than that, that does conclude the 8th update of my 1/400 scale Chicago O'Hare model airport. This has definitely been one of the busiest ones yet, with lots of international flights and larger aircraft. As always, I would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing so you can see more interesting aviation videos like this one, and you can help me build my channel to 1,000 subscribers. Anyways, I hope you all have enjoyed this brand new update, and until next time, fly safe.